Welcome! In this video we'll be taking a quick look at Elune, a epic grade healer class Elune. Looking at her base stats at 6-star level 60, she has decent HP at 29.8k, an attack at 4.3, and a physical and magical defense at 2.8 and 2.9k. Her attack speed at 107 puts her about in the mid-range area, making her not too bad for speed. As she is transcended up to the max at +5, her HP goes to a very nice 44.8k with her attack ending at an also nice 6.5k for an epic. Her physical defense ends at 4.2 with her magic defense at 4.3. Moving on to her skills, her first skill is a basic attack skill, but this is okay for her as it has a multi-purpose. At base level 1, it does 100 plus 100% of her attack as magic damage. This skill, as it is leveled up, goes to a decent 840 plus 139% of her attack as magic damage. Moving on to her special skill is a heal. This is an AoE heal for all allies. It heals the HP by 80 plus 75% of her attack to all allies. As it is leveled up to the max at +6, it goes to a decent 640 plus 104% of her attack to all allies as an AoE heal. Her ultimate skill, Ultimate Bow, is a 6-soul skill and is also an AoE heal for all of your allies. This heals the HP by 130 plus 125% of her attack, and then also puts a buff on them that heals them for the next 3 turns for 60 plus 63% of her attack at the beginning of every turn, making this a very good heal plus a heal over time skill for 3 turns. As this skill is leveled up to the max, the initial heal goes up to 880 plus 173% of her attack, making it a very strong heal, and the heal over time goes up to a very decent 440 plus 87% of her attack, and to a duration of 4 turns, making this heal very nice and healing a lot on everybody's turn. This first passive of hers is what makes her a very good healer for all stages of the game. This one, whenever she attacks with her normal skill, which is only an attack, it will also heal all allies by 20% of the damage that she does, making her very good at healing AoE constantly while doing damage. This means if you need a healer for a situation, but you also want some extra damage, she is very good as she can be providing the damage while healing at the same time. Her second skill, this one, when the target's HP is below 50%, the healing will increase by 20%. Making it that as the HP of your allies go down lower and they're less than half of their health, then the healing they receive from her is increased by 20% through a passive, again enhancing her healing ability. Her third passive. This passive increases the attack and healing by 10% after she takes 4 turns. It is activated only once per battle and isn't removed even if she dies and then is revived. This means that after she takes 4 turns, her attack for her normal skill is increased by 10%, which increases her healing, as well as her attack being increased by 10%. This also increases the scaling for her other special and ultimate heals, and then the healing is increased by an additional 10%, meaning that all the heals are increased by even more, meaning that every turn that she takes, she will be healing quite significantly. Looking over at her skill gems, the first one is a basic attack, dealing magic damage, but also heals. The recommended is blue for magic damage and orange for crit rate. The bonus to this one that you would get is a 5% chance of healing the user's HP equal to 100% of the damage dealt. This means that she can heal herself by quite a bit, equal to the damage that she deals to the target, meaning that she can basically heal herself back to max if she was low. If you want this skill to be even a more powerful healing skill, then you can go with full blue gems here, making the attack power even higher, meaning that she is constantly healing more. You can also go with more crit if you want to get her more crit rate on this skill so that she crits because it is based on the damage, and the crits do more damage, then she would also heal more that way. So either going with the recommended or any option of the blue or the orange gems for crit rate would be good, as this is a damage skill and it is the passive that heals. Her second skill, the special skill, the recommended, is green, orange, and violent. This one increases the crit power rate of the arrow life, which is this skill. This means that the crit power of the heal is more, and it's by 10%. This would mean that she would have to crit to do that. So, for this to actually take effect and be useful, she would need a good crit rate or a crit buff to ensure that she gets those extra crits for this AoE heal. The option to this would be to go with more green gems just to increase the base healing, so it is constantly doing more healing instead of doing the recommended. For her ultimate skill, this one increases the crit rate of the ultimate skill by 10%, meaning that she has a higher chance to crit on the heal when she does it by 10%. Again, you can go with this and have that extra chance, or with a full set of green gems, which increases the healing that the skill does anyway. Which, if you're going for the consistent heal from this skill, then going with a full green set of gems might be a better option, as it'll give her more consistently good healing, as opposed to relying on crits for that little extra bonus. As for the dimensions slayed on her, if you choose to do this, then of course the things you would want to focus on are survivability for her, namely HP, physical, and magic defense, but as well as attack, as all of her healing is based on attack, either the damage that she does or the attack-based healing skills from her second and third. She does not need accuracy, as she does not apply any debuffs. Evasion is somewhat useful, but not a priority. Crit and crit power are always good, but not something you should seek out specifically, as the attack will always help her heals, and the crit and crit power are only when she crits. As for the gear for her, going with a healing set or the Emperor set for her would be good, as the full set of Emperor makes it so that she heals 15% when healing allies who have buffs, which typically you will be running her with a support that does buff, meaning that she does 15% more healing to your team. But the 6-piece set also gives her the 30% crit rate to all healing skills, meaning that she has a higher chance of critting with those healing skills. The other thing about the full Emperor set is that the offhand is an attack slot, which is fine for her, as her base HP is quite decent anyway, especially as you get her transcended up, and she doesn't necessarily need to have the extra HP in the offhand, and the attack will benefit her as well as your team's healing. Anything that you can give her to increase her HP or attack would be beneficial, but make sure you still balance out her physical and magic defense, as she is an epic and they will be low, and you would want to have that. Elune is a very good healer for early game as well as mid-game content. She is also a good healer for certain situations. As she is a female healer, you can use her for some of the boss dailies if you need an additional healer but also want extra damage. She can provide a good healing role for most teams, and is also good for certain farming situations if you're doing farming where you need more than one Elune to do the farming. She would provide the support healing to be able to keep the team alive, or to keep your farmer alive if they're taking too much damage. People that wish to auto some of the boss fights, especially some of the stage 10 fights, just to auto them repeatedly, will probably be using Yoon, as she is a constant healer and she doesn't need to have any of her skills active to heal. She can just rely on spamming her skill 1 to heal the team to keep it alive, saving those souls for the rest of the team in the auto mode. That's going to be it for this one. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Thank you.